Part 26 is PayPal integration. Log into your WordPress website and navigate to the WooCommerce settings. If you've been following this course, you don't necessarily have to be logged into PayPal. Otherwise, if you haven't been following, log into PayPal. Under your profile option in the top right hand corner, you're going to click on profile and settings. And when you're in the profile and settings, you want to navigate to the My Selling Tools option in the left hand side, the bottom option in the box, My Selling Tools. You'll go over to the API access and click on Update API Credentials. And you're going to click on Request SDK or Request API Permission, I believe is what it says in the bottom box titled MVP SOAP API Integration. If you've already set those up, the option will actually read View API Signature. If you've been following along in the course, you should have your API signature, your username, your password saved in a text document. Simply open that text document up, and you should have it saved in your folder structure under Documents, PayPal API.txt. Once you've got those credentials, in the WooCommerce settings, you're going to go over to the Checkout tab. We're going to click on the PayPal option in Checkout Options. So there is a secondary set of tabs under the Checkout tab. I'm going to click on PayPal. By default, it'll be enabled. We've got PayPal Standard enabled. You're going to insert your PayPal email address, the same email address you used to set up your PayPal account. Don't necessarily have to have a receiver email entered unless your main PayPal email differs from the PayPal email entered above. So this is a little bit confusing, but if your main PayPal email differs from the PayPal email entered above, enter your main receiver email for your PayPal account here. It's used to validate IP requests. So yeah, you only have one email in your PayPal account, or you should. So you should only have to enter your PayPal email address here. You're going to scroll down to API credentials. I've already copied and pasted my info here. You're going to copy and paste your API username, your API password, and your API signature, and you'll click Save Changes. Okay, a couple of settings that we want to change, but first let's make sure that our pages are actually published. So we're going to click on Pages, and you want to make sure that the shop page, the checkout page, and the cart page are all set to published. So I've got these pages set to draft. When we set up WooCommerce, we set these pages to draft. You can select the checkbox next to any draft pages if you have multiple pages. Click on the bulk actions drop down, click on edit and hit apply, and you can change the status of those pages together to published and click update. So let's make sure that our changes are actually saved in our WooCommerce settings. So you want to go over to WooCommerce, click on settings. Let's navigate over to checkout. Alright, so scroll down to checkout pages. Your cart page should be set to cart. Your checkout page should be set to checkout. Terms and conditions page, if you haven't created a terms and conditions page, you're just going to go over to pages, click on add new, and you're going to title the page terms and conditions and publish it. Then you can navigate back to the WooCommerce settings under the checkout tab and add that page here, even though there's no content in that page yet. Scroll down and click Save Changes. Awesome. You're gonna go over to your checkout settings, and the last thing you want to check on this page is Force Secure Checkout. Force SSL HTTPS on the checkout pages. So we have an SSL certificate installed on our website. If you didn't install one and you haven't been following this course, if your website registers with HTTP without the S, do not check this checkbox. I'm gonna go down and hit Save Changes again. And the checkout process, enable guest checkout. This is a personal preference. It's really up to you. We've decided not to use check payments, cash on delivery, or BACS. We just want to use PayPal. And with this PayPal setup, with the API credentials, we're able to accept credit cards, debit cards, or PayPal payments directly from our website. If you go over to the General tab, you should have all of your settings, basically curated to your personal preferences. And of course, your location. If you go over to products, you can change the weight unit, dimensions unit. So if you're selling a certain product that requires shipping with weights or weight classes, this might be something that you would adjust depending on where you live. The display settings you can generally leave as is, minus having the shop page selected. So under products and display, you want to go down and select your shop page. Of course, most of these settings will be based on your personal preferences. You don't necessarily have to change the product image sizes. You can keep those as default, because when you install a theme, those sizes might be changed based on the requirements of the theme. We're going to click on Save Changes. As for inventory, again, this is another personal preference for what business you're running from your website, what products you're selling. Downloadable products are pretty much self-explanatory. As for shipping, we might have to do a whole nother video on shipping, but in this case right now, we're just setting this up to be able to accept payments. I'm not going to do too much about shipping unless I get a lot of requests on this, but shipping is a really complex setup, and there's hundreds of different ways you can set up shipping. There are a lot of different integration options with plugin extensions, and there's no telling there's no cookie cutter way to set up shipping, because chances are you're not selling the same product as the next person who is required to have shipping set up on their website. Alright, so everything is pretty much good to go. Just triple check that your settings have been updated. So, I'm just looking in here to make sure that our checkbox was saved. Our checkout pages are saved. We've got our API under the PayPal tab, under the checkout tab. Let's just make sure that everything is saved as far as our email is being correct. Okay. Our APIs are the same. Awesome. Payment action. This means if you want the money to go straight into your PayPal account when someone pays for a product on your website, you set it to capture. Otherwise, you can set it to authorize, to where when someone goes to pay for a product, whether it be digital or physical, you have to authorize their payment before they successfully pay for a product. That's just an extra way to prevent fraud. Let's say maybe you want to hire someone to triple check people's submissions to see what they're purchasing, and maybe you want to confirm that someone's purchasing something before the product is delivered. This is an option that you might be interested in. Most people generally leave this as capture, to where the product is instantly sold when they submit their credit card information. As for accounts, your My Account page should already be generated since we set up WooCommerce in a separate video. As far as registration, most of these settings can generally be set to the default settings. emails. What emails will your customers receive, and will you receive? The first 3 emails are the emails that you will receive when someone orders something from your site, when someone cancels an order, or if an order fails. And your customer receives the rest of the emails based on the orders they place or the processing of those orders. So when someone places an order on your site, even though the order goes through, you have to complete the order, just mark the order as complete or as fulfilled from your WooCommerce dashboard, and they will receive an email saying that their order has been completed. So you can customize these emails here. You got your from name, your from address. You can add a header image in here and footer text, so you can change the styling of your WooCommerce emails, the emails that are sent from your website. By default, the email address, the email footer text will have something related to WooCommerce in here. You can go in here and change these settings, and just make sure you save all of your changes. API is a tab you don't necessarily have to worry about. Everything else should be good to go.